Okay, hey guys, I'm Fancy.
And I'm Ty. Cajun Momma Ti.
And this is Murder by Design. And this is Murder by Design. This is the first time we're ever using this, so I hope that it's working. I don't know how we can chat with you guys, though. I'm not even sure. However, I do know that you guys are able to call in. So I am going to, let me put this in there. There's like a little way to do so. You guys can actually call in. So just 1 second while I do that. Ty, you are looking beautiful today, let me tell you.
Gorgeous today. I absolutely love that makeup you have on. Can you tell me about that makeup?
I sure can. Oh my God, I'm so excited about it, guys. This is literally, okay, just 1 second though. Let me go ahead and get this up there. I have the site and the instructions on how you can call in if you would like. It is in the post that we made earlier, letting you guys know that we were going live today. So you should be able to have that. Anyway, and it's on our Facebook page. I haven't put up on YouTube yet. I'll give you a second, and I'll do that in a second. But yeah, I want to tell you about this makeup. Okay, so let me tell you. So I don't know if you guys can see, I've got this pink, and by means, I am not a makeup person, okay? I'm really not great at it. I just have the special techniques that I knew when I was like in high school in the 90s, so I'm not fantastic at it. My daughter, on the other hand, both of them, the older ones, incredible with makeup. But look, guys, this is our brand new line that we are personally introducing. It's the Lipstick, Lashes, and Lies line. So I want to show you some things. So let's see. So this is our lipsticks. They come in this really pretty silver bullet. We also have a black bullet, but and that gives you more choices of colors. But we have a bunch of different colors. That's what I used on my lips today. It's so rich and creamy, and it just goes on like a dream. Okay, and then which I never do eyeliner. I'm pretty excited about it because I never do it because it's always really hard because I used to have to use those like pencils. But look at this. This is our liquid eyeliner. It's so pretty and sparkly. Yeah, like I'm so excited. And then, okay, so the last two things I really love. So this is the line, this is our line, and our logo is going to be here when we get these are just our samples. But look at this beautiful line. We're calling this the Day of the Dead line. Like, how gorgeous is that?
I love that palette.
Sparkles,
that palette.
Glitter.
That palette
it's so
is
beautiful.
gorgeous.
The glitter is gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
It is. And we're going to have a couple different ones, but this is the first one we're premiering. And that's our Day of the Dead. And then we just got in our own eyelashes. And I can't figure out how to put them on. I tried. It didn't work well, so my daughter's got to show me how to use them. But they look beautiful. I mean, they come like this. They're actually going to come, some of them will come like this. We'll have these as an option. But we also have an option that comes inside of a pill bottle. Like, that's what the case is. It's like a pill bottle. I think it's so cute. We just put those up on the website, so if you guys want to check them out, go over to MadGingerEntertainment.com. Go to the shop, look at the Good Wives branded merchandise. It's all right there for you. We've got our premier wine that we just came out with. We have a private reserve wine. We've got coffee, our shirts, our, all kinds of different merchandise. You guys definitely need to check it out. But this is to die for. This is about the same quality as like what Urban Decay has out there. That Ulta has several different lines that are this similar. So I'm absolutely in love. I can't even tell you.
Right.
But anyway, what we're here to talk about. Oh yeah, God, I love it. I can't wait to see Emily, and I think we may have a special person coming back to do it with me, who used to be here with us before. So we're gonna actually be starting up on TikTok and Reels, so we're really excited about that. I had no idea how to do it, but they do. So
super.
So they're gonna do and have our makeup line, and they're gonna teach you guys how to use it. And I am so excited. Like it's just been incredible putting this together. Anyway, today we're actually here to talk about some updates in the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case. So as you guys know, I have not had contact with Gypsy in, I think it's been like 2 years. And I had problems with the family in the fact that they didn't like that I was putting out the actual truth out there. But Ty maintained a relationship with Gypsy, quite up until quite recently. And so I'm going to let her talk about what she's talked with Gypsy. She's going to read some different letters and things. So just let me know what you guys think. And if you want to call in, that number is on our Facebook. I'm going to put it on our YouTube right now while Ty is talking.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Yeah, so like
no, you're fine.
Like Fancy said, I have maintained a relationship with Gypsy over the last 4 years. Even when Fancy and Gypsy had their falling out, I still, maintained that relationship with her. I up until about a year ago, I was just communicating on JPay, and then she started out of the blue calling, and so we've been communicating by calling every now and then, but we have, always maintained a good relationship. I have only Gypsy's best interest at heart. As y'all all know, I have been involved in this case, since day one, since Gypsy was, since before Gypsy was here. I was Dee Dee's best friend, in high school, so, that kind of stuff. But, some really crazy things have happened over the last year. And so, one of the things I want to share is that while we know that Gypsy is going to be going through the parole process very soon, actually, she does have a parole hearing coming up here in December of this year. She is due to be paroled in 2023. But that does not mean that she will get out. It's up to the parole board. So some of the things that you have to do as a prisoner who has a charge like she does is write a letter of remorse, write a letter to the victim's family, which she has done, and she has shared with me. So I want to first read just a little bit of her letter of remorse. And her letter of remorse was written a couple of years ago. So it really, to me, sounds like she's remorseful, but it sounds, I don't know what word I want to use, more like it's just like it's
almost as if she's using a template of it, and it's just, and kind of putting her genuine feelings. It's
just like she's using other people's words and putting it in. So this is just the very beginning. It says, "My name is Gypsy Blanchard," number, and it has her ID number. "I am writing this letter to express how deeply remorseful I am for my actions. In the years since my conviction of second-degree murder for my part in the death of my mother and victim, Claudina Blanchard, in June 2015, I have learned the importance of taking accountability for my crime and do so without hesitation." Okay, so just that portion right there kind of gives me the vibe of that she is probably sorry for what she did, but I think she might be doing things for maybe the wrong, saying she's sorry because she has to. Okay, so
yeah, I agree.
And then it says, "I've come to realize how deeply my crime has negatively positively impacted so many lives, creating a ripple effect that motions far beyond my own realization. Okay, so this makes me think of, if you've ever seen the show Intervention, okay? Have you ever watched the show
Yes.
Intervention?
Yes.
And when the families write the letters, and when they don't know what to say, they give them this template.
Yeah.
And they tell them, put your words into this template. And that's what she did. That's how this letter of remorse looks to me. And
that's how it sounds. It is how it sounds. Definitely.
It sounds like
it doesn't seem at all like she is remorseful, really, or this is her feelings, or it's not specific to like her specific thing. It's just not. I don't know. I feel like Gypsy is doing what Gypsy needs to do to get out, and that is all she's interested in doing. I don't think she cares about getting better. I don't think she even thinks she needs to get better. In fact, she has said that she does not need, that she doesn't want to, she doesn't want to get married. She doesn't want to get help. She doesn't want to get help.
Right. And Fancy, and the entire team that we have built knows that I have struggled with the fact that I never did anything. I always had a feeling that something wasn't right, and I never did anything. Well,
yes, I know you have.
This is the time, and I feel like
this has been hard for you.
At this point, I am trying to save Gypsy from herself.
Yes.
And so,
yep.
The next thing I want to read is a letter that she wrote. And I really think that this is a letter. She addresses it to whom it may concern. How general statement. So to me,
right, yeah.
If it would have been for the parole board, she should have said whoever parole board. But this is just addressed to whom it may concern. So it says, to whom it may concern, my name is Gypsy Blanchard. I served a 10-year sentence in the Missouri State Penitentiary Department of Corrections for second-degree murder. While being incarcerated in the Department of Corrections, I have taken the opportunity to better myself, successfully completing several institutional programs that which include ICVC, anger management, pathways to change, balanced living, trauma resolution group, anxiety group, healthy relationships group, a weekly ongoing group meeting. I am currently enrolled in general education classes, with having completed all the subjects of science, social studies, language, reading, and I'm close to achieving math for successful completion of a full GED or high-set diploma. In addition to these programs, I hold an institutional job without any issues. I am also a psychotherapy for my emotional trauma as a result of the abuse, which is absolutely incorrect. She is not getting any mental health help, has not gotten any mental health help since she's been in prison. In October 2019, I started to facilitate ICVC after going through the appropriate channels training sessions. I decided to go into the facility this particular program because I felt by sharing my personal story with other offenders, I could be a positive change in the community, leading by examples, displaying good behavior in our institution, and by taking the time to educate others how to be accountable and remorseful for their own actions, as I have come to take accountability for my own. Thank you, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. This letter seems to be more of her own words.
Wow.
This seems to be more of her own words.
I don't know.
But none of these things that she took pertains to the psychology trauma that she's been through. She has not had any formal, she has not had a formal diagnosis. She has not had any type of psychotherapy. She says in here she's had psychotherapy. She's not had any psychotherapy. She's refused psychotherapy. Dr. Phil offered to have someone go into the prison and go in there with her, and she refused.
And that was even something that was something that I had to go and investigate and look into. They had been telling me, Christy and Rod had told me, and Gypsy had told me for years that it was just not offered. You couldn't get any help. They couldn't get any help, which was what prompted me to start talking out about prison reform. Now, granted, I still think that they need way more help than they get in there, and I believe that our system is very punitive instead of rehabilitative, and I think that's part of our problem of having repeat offenders all the time. But let's put that aside. I went and I talked to Christy, and I was like, what about Dr. Phil? If she can't get it at the prison, which she can, and if you go listen to my interview that I did, I don't know, a couple years ago with the jail guard, Officer, Hughes, she told us about how Gypsy had not wanted to do it. She didn't ask to do it. She didn't, nothing. And she could have done it the whole time she was in the Greene County jail, much less going into the Chillicothe prison system. So she's not done any of that. And so I was the one who told Christy, I said, but Dr. Phil could send somebody in to see her. You can get special arrangements based on the fact of what she's been through for them to go in and see her now. So they started to look into that. They said they were going to, nothing happened. It never happened because Gypsy's mad. And this brings us to part of the other things that we're going to talk about today, because Gypsy's upset because Dr. Phil, as well as we did, that was one of the things that she got upset with me about, me and Tori. We did the article in Touch about her relationship with Ken and how we were concerned, right? And Dr. Phil expressed the same concerns, the same exact concerns. And this is nothing new. Now, Ken and Gypsy broke up. There's a lot of rumors about that, and I'm not going to talk about why they broke up, but they did. And I knew that would happen. I really did. I don't think the guy was prepared to deal with all of that mess. And there's other reasons that have been floated out there, and you can go find those other places, but not here. But, it just, it's continued. This is not the only relationship she's had. This is her second online relationship, right? Ken was the second one. That went up in flames. And now, and there was a third that was lurking around for a while, and I think he's gone. But now she's in a fourth relationship with a man she's never met in person. I don't know, maybe they've met in person now, but before they started dating, they had never met in person. He is a person who has followed this case for a very long time. He used to come and support us and talk about, how horrible other people who talk about this case were and everything. But then when I released the interrogation video and I talked about, her relationship with Ken and that I was concerned for her, he jumped on the bandwagon of hating us, and being really nasty and hateful. And it just, all we have is the best interest of Gypsy at heart. That's it. There is nothing else, and so it's hard for us to just let it go because, she's going to come out into society and she is going to not be okay. First of all, she's not prepared for society, and to take care of herself. And I know she thinks she's going to go down there and mommy and daddy are going to take care of her, but they are not the best people for her. Let's be honest. We'll talk about that at a later date. But tell us a little bit about this new guy, Titania, because you're the one that found out about it and how you found out about it and all of that.
Well, the way I found out about it was apparently Gypsy and he had some... I didn't know that she had a love interest until they got into this argument. and she reached out to me and actually asked me not to say anything to anyone about it. And I told her I wasn't going to say anything to anyone until he said the things he said to me. And then
right,
I was like, oh no. And then and other things happened, but I'm going to get to that.
And she asked you to like contact him, right? She asked you to talk to him.
She asked me because he was not answering her. She asked me to go and find him on Facebook and just ask him, just tell him, she was just wanting to say she was, who I am, and that I had all her best intentions.
Wow.
And that, so I felt like she was sticking me in the middle, but I did it because I didn't want to lose that relationship. I didn't want to lose that relationship at that point. But I knew
it's so junior high, but it's so junior high. Like, can you tell my friend to go ask his friend if he likes me and blah blah blah, and he's fighting with me, so Jenny's gonna go over and she's gonna talk to his best friend and he's gonna talk to him, and then it's so junior high school. And it shows again the level of maturity as to where she is. She's still stuck at that age, of just high school, junior high school drama. She has not moved into adulthood yet.
But it also made me realize, because I didn't know who. I knew she had given me his name, but there was more than one person with that same name. And so I was like, well, there's more than one person with that name. So I was like, I have no clue who he is. She knew what his Facebook picture was and what he was wearing on his Facebook picture. Like, she knew the picture. He had sunglasses on, and he has a blue shirt. He's driving a car with, a convertible. I'm like, how the hell does she know what's on her Facebook page? So that brought me, like, I've always suspected she has access to internet, because of the way she responds to things. I think every time we go on. Every time
she's immediately on us. It's not even like, it's not even like minutes or hours later.
No.
Yeah,
she's
I agree.
She knows.
I agree.
She will know about this. She will know about this lie. Somehow, some way, she has a way of knowing about things. Somehow, some way, she will know about it.
Right.
And you know what? And whoever tells her...
hold on. Ty, wait a minute. Your recording is failing. Hold on.
My recording.
Why is it failing? What is going on? It says it failed.
My recording. My button says recording.
Does it? Because it says this recording failed and is stopped. Please check the host sidebar for more information. But I don't see that. I see that you are... You are. So... Unmute. Okay, well, I don't know. I hope it's still going. It seems like it is, so I don't know. But we're not live, by the way. Just so you know, I accidentally didn't set it up right. So we're just talking, and we'll record.
We're just talking.
And I'll put this up afterwards. But anyway, okay. Yeah, so I'm sorry. Go back. I'm so sorry. I know I interrupted you.
So let me just say, whoever's out there and reports to Gypsy, or if Gypsy, you're seeing this yourself, you've burned your bridge, and I will go to the parole board. I may not physically be there if they don't let me, but I will talk to the parole board.
Definitely
I will
going to communicate
mail them letters, and I will send them all the evidence that we have. You will get help, whether you want it or not.
Well, let me go back to let's go back to the guy
Yeah,
let's go back to the guy. So this guy has been a lurker. Like I said, he's been hanging around the case for a long time. And he has been very friendly with Christy online. In fact, she recommended him to join our group at one point. We were going to actually bring him on the team at one point, and then the whole thing just went kaplooey. But he has been nasty to me in the past. He's been nasty to Ty now. But let's just talk about him. He is 45 or 46, Ty?
He's 43. He's 43.
43.
Get a background check on.
So he's just 43. A tiny bit younger than me. He's just a tiny bit younger than me. He's 43 years old, guys. And Gypsy is just now turning 30. That's a 13-year difference, you know. He is a guy who has been obsessed with this case, and so I feel like he's just another lurker, you know, another hanger-oner who maybe thinks that he's going to get some fame out of this, some money out of this. I don't freaking know. But the guy is not, he's not a good guy. This is not a good guy. A good guy that really cares about Gypsy would, A, wait to start a relationship with her until she's on the outside so that she can get help and maintain a regular type of relationship. She's not ready a relationship while she's in prison when she doesn't even know how to have regular relationships. Number two, he would be advocating for her to get all the help that she could possibly get. And what started him being nasty to Ty was that she was talking about the parole board, and she approached him because Gypsy had stopped, you know, talking to her as well, and she knew that she had done that to Jeff at one point and the whole thing. And it's always back and forth. I mean, it's always this crazy, like 1 second it's one thing and the next second it's another thing. Well, he was very nasty to you, Ty, right? In the messages back to you. And what did he say? What did he say? He accused you of some things, right?
Yeah, he actually, and it really hit home. It really was very hurtful what he said. Dee Dee and I were not friends at the time of her murder. We were not speaking to each other, and we had not spoken to each other for years. And he accused me of being in on the entire thing, and said that if I knew that the abuse was going on, that I maybe Dee Dee sent me money and passed me money to pay me off to not say anything.
Not report.
Yeah.
Wow. What?
Was very hurtful.
You know, and here's the thing, guys. You know, we're talking about going to the parole board, and here's what we want to do. This is not, okay, by any means, all we have ever, in fact, even now, with all the things that have happened with the family, all the things that have happened with Gypsy, our only main concern with this case is, one, there's two things. One, I want to bring awareness to it because I believe that there are things that are happening in this case that are very relevant to other cases that we're going to talk about later. And I believe that it is a key to understanding this actual type of case. And let me tell you, there's a lot of things we're going to talk about, and we are hosting an event this weekend, and we're going to talk a lot more about some of the things that we are bringing up that we have not gotten into yet, things that no one's ever heard. You're going to hear about a period of time that we've investigated that's not in any of the files. You've never heard about it, and what happened there. We're doing a lot of different things, and there's a lot of more stuff. We have a letter that she wrote to her mama that we're going to do. But in all of this, our main concern with Gypsy is to get Gypsy help. She's coming out into society whether anyone wants it or not, okay? At 10-year mark, regardless whether she gets parole now or not, at 10 years, she's out, okay? And if she goes out at 10 years, then she doesn't have to do any type of, like, you know, she doesn't have to report to a parole officer because she did her whole time. She doesn't have to do any of those things. You know, she doesn't do that. But, so what we're asking the parole board to do is to actually release her at the 80% mark, which would be 8 years. But that her last 2 years, we want them to require as part of her parole that she stays in a in-treatment, you know, facility until they deem that she is ready within that 2 years to assimilate back into society. And then as they do so, she continues ongoing counseling, and help. Okay, so that's what we're promoting. That's what we're trying to lobby for. She is pissed as all get out, like just absolutely mad. She wrote Titania horrid letters at first. Then she went backwards and decided to be nice about it. And then she started giving Ty all this stuff she wanted her to share. But we weren't doing it yet because we were preparing for this event that we're doing on Saturday, where we're going to be opening with 2 hours on the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case, you know. Right. And so we were waiting. And she got mad and she basically blocked Ty for not doing what she wanted her to do. So we're still seeing this pattern of explosive behavior when she doesn't know all the facts. Then she feels bad, or she realizes that that's not going to get her anywhere. It's not going to get her what she wants. And then she, again, backpedals and then begins to do something else. And she'll say, you know, I was not in my right mind. One point in time, she told us that, you know, her arguments were drug fueled. You know, she went through drug rehab. So she's not been a model citizen. She has done things wrong. She let some girl use her commissary account at one point in time. She did the t-shirts and stuff, and she tries to say that she didn't know. I'm sorry, her stepmama bought one from the girl. I don't believe any of this. I believe the Gypsy, I don't think she's going to come out and kill another person. It's possible she could, but I don't think that's not my thought process on it. I think she's going to run scams very similar to what her mama did, because it's all she knows. She doesn't know how to live a real life. She doesn't know how to interact with real people. And I think that's going to be a huge problem for her. That's why we're lobbying for her to get some amount of real help, because she's never going to get better unless she admits the things that have happened to her. She's never going to get better until she understands how manipulative she is, as well as how manipulative her mother was. You know, she needs a lot of long-term treatment that she does not believe she needs, nor is the people around her, her family, this boyfriend, all of them. Nobody is lobbying for her to get good treatment. You know, I just don't understand. I really don't. But then again, these are the same people who failed her when she was growing up. And he wants to point, you know, this new guy wants to point fingers at you and say, well, why didn't you report it? Well, where the hell was her stepmom and her dad and the other family? Because they all knew. They all knew. We've proven that they knew. We have proven it. There is absolute concrete evidence that they knew that things were not right, and they stayed silent. That's why I keep saying that nobody in this story is a reliable narrator. Nobody. They all have their own agendas. Nobody.
They all have.
And it's sad because what she really needs is help.
Yeah. And I felt like the one person that was willing to, you know, do that for her, she just turned around and stabbed me.
Well, you're the one person has always been on her side.
You've
had many arguments with the team. You've had many arguments with the team because of your undying support for her. You know, because we've tried to tell you, Ty, I don't think that's what that is. You know, when you first got these letters, you were so excited. You were like, look at this. And, you know, Christina and I and Tori, we read them and we were like, I don't think that means what Ty thinks it means. And, you know, you wanted to see, you had like rose-colored glasses on. You wanted to see the best in her. And, you know, and nobody wants to see the worst in Gypsy. I don't want to see the worst in Gypsy. I want Gypsy to go on and be successful and have a good life and live the life she should have been able to live. Because when the end of the day, we always say this, she is who she is because of how she was raised and her mama and everybody who failed her. But she has a choice today to decide to not be that person.
To change it.
To make the right choices. And she continues to make the wrong choices. She continues.
She continues.
Because she won't.
To be honest with you, her coming back to Louisiana and staying here in this this area, I think she will have some, as much as I think she doesn't hold accountability to her dad, and I don't think she I don't think she holds any accountability to her dad at all. I think she just wants him to love her. Is all she wants, is to know that he loves her.
Right.
And I truly, I feel that he does. I think he does. But he also has other children.
In his own bizarre way.
Yeah, in his own bizarre way. But I think that she has animosity towards the Petrie family. And I think the Petrie family,
I agree,
has the Petrie family handles things in a totally different way than anybody else has ever handled things. And I have love and compassion for them. I've known these people since I was a little girl. I think things would be different if Mr. Claude were not here. Because the siblings would be different. The siblings, but I think that when Gypsy gets out, it will be
there's a lot
hard for her to come here and not go out into the public and see her family, see that side of the family. That's why I really don't know. I don't know if she's gonna be. She never could answer me. What is your plan? What is your plan if you're paroled? You gotta have a plan.
Yeah.
You gotta tell the parole board what your plan is. But she has no plan.
Right. Yeah, no. Well, and
she has a plan and she's just not telling me.
I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. I know the plan has always been to go back and live with Christy and Rod. I just don't see them being a good influence on her, especially Christy, with the amount of screen time that Christy craves, and it just, I feel like they're going to perpetuate the kind of exploitation of her. So,
when she talks about,
I don't know. I just don't feel like it's going to be a good, and I don't think she's going to have she's not going to be prepared to face the Petrie family, to own up to what she has done. And she's not going to be prepared to face them, to tell them how upset she is that they didn't do anything. They knew things, right. They didn't do anything. And I've always said that if this happened in an area, the totally different area, this would not have happened this way. But because of where this happened, largely in both cities, both towns, both states, very small communities, there's not a huge, what am I trying to say? There's not a huge thing in Louisiana towards higher education or doing any of that. It's going out on the boats, and a lot of the kids leave before they even finish high school. So I feel like they were not prepared to know what to do. I think they thought they saw things, but what did they know? They didn't know 100% what was going on. And any time that they tried to question Dee Dee, instead, what they should have done was go to somebody else. But when they tried to question Dee Dee, she would either disappear for months on end, or she would stop talking to them, or do something nasty, So they felt like the best way for them to try and at least help was to stay involved. But she just kept moving further and further away, so it was very hard for them. But I just feel like this is a case of they just didn't know what they were supposed to do.
Exactly.
And I think if it had happened somewhere else where higher education is pushed and things like that, and I'm not saying that you guys on the Bayou are not, smart, absolutely smart, but I just think that the resources were not there. They did not know what to do. And who would know what to do, really, but I just feel like maybe somewhere else where, things are talked about more. Things are, there's bigger cases that happen in that area, so people learn more things. I think that might have made a difference in the way the family dealt with it. Do I still think it was wrong? Yeah, I do. I still think that they should have done some stuff, but...
Yeah. this is not something that happens. This is not a case that, you know,
no.
And even like, I'm going to tell you, like I've said before, growing up, we didn't hear about people abusing their kids. You know, we went, you know, we could go out. We left the doors unlocked and we stayed out till dark.
Yeah.
And when the lights came on, the street lights came on, that meant it was time to come inside. You know, and it was just.
That's how we did too. Right, yeah.
We lived very, that was something not spoken about. And if it was spoken about, it was spoken about amongst adults, and they were spoken in mostly French. Probably they would speak it in French, where the kids or the older children couldn't even understand what you were talking about. Or you just didn't know. We didn't. I mean, people, they didn't even have. Some people didn't even have telephones in their house. You know, that was a luxury. You know, that was a luxury to have a landline phone. You know, we talk about having cell phone. Back when I was a kid, having a landline phone in your house, you were a rich person. Not everybody had a landline phone in their house. You know, so...
Well, and that's, you know, I have to remember that you are... I think you're from a generation that's almost 10 years older than I am, or Dee Dee was. You might not be quite 10 years older than me, but you're from that generation. So it's a generation that technology was only still forming. Like, there wasn't a lot. Like, I was the first generation that had a computer, that computers where we could use personal computers. Before that, personal computers were, you know, or computers were big things that were in companies to, you know, do stuff. But we were the first of the internet, you know. I mean, so you guys didn't have that. You didn't have WebMD to look something up. You didn't have, you know, you didn't have any of that. I had a telephone in my home that was pretty standard, but yeah, we used encyclopedias too. The same thing. We didn't have WebMD. We didn't, you know, we wanted to know something. We had to go to the library, sit down for hours, check out the, you know, look at the book, because they were reference books, so you couldn't take them home, right? So you had to sit there and do your research there. That prohibited a lot of research that people could do. Now it's at our fingertips, you know. It wouldn't happen like this today. But I also think that this is a very misunderstood diagnosis, this Munchausen by proxy. I have said from the very beginning that this case, for me, and I'm no expert, but looking at the information, talking to the experts that we have talked to in the field, which that's a whole nother story. But is that I don't believe that this is that type. I honestly don't think
I don't either
in the parameters of it. I think it's something else. And we're going to talk about that on our show or at our event on Saturday. So we've given you a little bit about where Gypsy is at now. We've kind of talked a little bit about what she's doing to try to get, you know, her parole. But guys, you know what? We're doing this amazing event tomorrow, and I am super excited about it. Ty, what do you think?
I can't wait. I'm so excited about it. I'm just a ball of nerves because I can't wait, you know, and I just can't, you know, it's just going to be so exciting to be able to sit there for 2 hours and talk about Gypsy and then listen to all the other, you know, and then we, you know, like we have the lady of Harrisburg case that we're going to have Todd Matthews present.
We're so excited. It's going to be incredible, guys. It's going to be awesome. 6 full hours. So you get 6 hours of true crime goodness. You get to walk along with the investigators and people that have put these cases together and actually act like a rookie detective with this. You're going to get to see the entire murder book of the Lady of Harrodsburg that Todd has put together, and he's been working on this case for a long time. Awesome. And you know, he's the former founder of Name Us, and he's the founder of Doe Network, or not former founder of Name Us. He's the former director of Name Us. Anyway, but he has so much information on this case. It's so great. He's going to share all of that. Then you're going to get a chance to ask questions, ask to see other pieces of evidence, you know, talk about the different evidence, and see if you can help him in any way, shape, or form figure out this case. And then then, so we do our 2 hours on Gypsy, which is going to be the Good Wives. You're going to get to hear all about what we know, what we're doing, and we've got some tricks up our sleeve, I think, for that part. So 2 hours opener with Gypsy, 2 hours on Lady of Harrodsburg with Todd Matthews, and then our third and final piece is another 2 hours block of time on the Delphi case, the case of the murder of Abby and Libby in Delphi, Indiana. I am obsessed with this case. I love this case too. We have partnered with Crime Door, and they are this amazing 3D AR app where you get to take a 3D walkthrough of crime scenes. And the first one that we're going to do with them is the Delphi crime scene. So the founders, Neil and Lauren Mant, are going to be available. They're going to be with us. They're going to walk us through their Delphi door. They're going to tell you how they put this together and what they have planned coming up, because there's some special things. I can't wait to tell you. But there's so much going on, and this is going to be an incredible event, okay? And right now, I mean, this is the last night beforehand. You've got up until 4 o'clock tomorrow to buy your tickets. I mean, we have a code that you can even get in for $10, guys. I mean, if you type in FF10 at our Eventbrite site, you'll get your ticket for $10. That gets you into the event. Now, it doesn't get you a shirt or it doesn't get you a shirt. It doesn't get you a bottle of wine, which we hope that you will go ahead and do those things. But that gets you in the door if you just want to be there for the event. Now, we have shirts. We have our private reserve wine that we are selling with this event. There's a special Delphi shirt. We have also an event shirt that is going to be exclusive to these events. And all of this, all the sales of the wine, we get $6 on a bottle of wine, and we donate all of that to the prevention of medical child abuse and for the prevention, the cold case research, the further cold case research.
Yes.
We're working with Todd. We'll be working with all different people on where we put this money. David Middleman from Othram Inc., who is doing incredible things with DNA. We'll be working with Delphi, Kelsey German, Liberty's older sister. So we're trying to put this into the right place. So buying a bottle of wine, you're giving to charity. You're not even giving to us because we're donating the whole thing. And then the proceeds from the sales of the event, a portion of those will be donated as well as a portion of the merchandise as well. So you're giving to charity. It's a good cause. You're getting an amazing amount of content. Let me tell you guys, what we have put together is incredible. And for the price that we are charging, I can't begin to tell you how valuable this is, that you're getting such great stuff for the value. I think what we've put together is really, really awesome. We're going to be doing these periodically, but this first one I really think is going to be super awesome. Talking about the Delphi case, like I said, obsessed with that case. I went down just a couple weeks ago. I took some pictures. I walked the trail. I talked to someone whose interview we were playing. So we have been working really hard on this, and I think you guys are really going to love it. So we will have the link below to where you can get tickets, okay? And I'll make sure that you guys have that link to the code FF10. But thank you, Ty, for joining me today and giving us some updates on the Gypsy case. Remember, guys, we're gonna have we're gonna do more in this event. You're gonna want to be there because we're not gonna post it out there. We may post a couple of little clips, but if you're not there, you're gonna miss out on hearing the big news. So, and it's some epic stuff. It's gonna change the way you think of this case. I definitely think it's gonna change the way you think of this case.
Definitely.
So
super excited.
Join us tomorrow, guys.
Come out and join us.
Join us tomorrow, guys.
We'll have a blast.
Yeah.
Grab your glass of wine.
Yeah.
Grab your glass of wine and come
and
join
true
the good
crime
wine.
with the
good wine.
Yeah. Have a good one. Bye, guys. Bye. Okay.